The last two categories in the Preferences dialog box are simple and straightforward, so we're going to cover them both in this one lesson. First, we have text. The first option here is Font Mapping Default. This setting applies when, for example, you've created a Flash file on one computer and then transferred it to another computer that doesn't have the same fonts installed. When you try to open the file, Flash will warn you that there are missing fonts and will ask you if you want to replace them with a default font. And this is where you choose the default font. Next, we have vertical text. Click here to set the default text orientation to vertical, right to left text flow, and you can also disable kerning. This is useful with certain fonts that use certain kerning tables that don't look the best when you're using vertical text. Finally, input method is fairly self-explanatory. If you're using Japanese and Chinese, set it here. If you're using Korean, set this one. Okay, on to warnings. From time to time, Flash will warn you when you try to do something that will impede the usability of the file or your workflow or compatibility or something like that. Often these warning dialogues contain an option for you to tell Flash not to warn you again. You can also tell Flash not to warn you by deselecting here. One such example is warn on inserting frames when importing content. This applies if you have a movie clip or a scene such as this one that has 30 frames. If you imported a video that contains 100 frames, Flash would warn you and say that the video is longer than your timeline. You can disable that warning here. Another common one is symbol conversion. Say if you have a movie clip that has actions in it and you try to convert it to a graphic symbol. Well, of course, when you convert it to a graphic symbol, you're going to lose the action script, the actions that are contained in the movie clip, and Flash can warn you there as well. And that's it for the Preferences dialog box.